As you know, I got to try Forza Horizon 3. Well, I decided that I wanted to try the Mustang on the dbox. So if you don't know what a dbox is, it's basically this massive hydraulic chair that moves around as you get, well, the game gives the wheel input, or gives the setup or the seat input. So say you crash into a car, or you shift gear, or basically anything that would like make something judder in real life, they make it so that the chair judders as it should in real life. Now, honestly, looking at the chair, it doesn't move a whole lot, but the slight movements it does do really do like move you around this chair. It's really cool. Anyway, so quick thing about this. One thing you will notice straight away that I asked about so much, the actual wheel like is not there on the game, because obviously in the cockpit view you're using a wheel in this dbox chair and it's not there. And I thought that's going to be really awesome if that's a thing. Unfortunately, it's not a thing in the full final release of the game so far. Speaking to one of the developers today, they said they've had a lot of good feedback from the wheel not being there, and they're actually considering putting it into the game at some point soon. So I really hope they do, especially because like you can see the speedo, and obviously if you're using your wheel, just seeing another wheel is kind of useless, and obviously they're going to remove the hands, and maybe the player model's not there or something, but they'll find a way to do it in general, in my opinion. I think this is a really cool way to play, and it merged you a lot more. The FOV seems to be better in this view as well, so hopefully that's a setting as well, especially for the people that have like insane PC rigs. That's one thing I gotta say on this. This is running on PC at 4K, around 30. I did notice some drops, but I'm guessing the machines they were using weren't incredible. But it seems like it's running at 4K. There aren't many machines that can run, 4K 60 FPS, unless you've obviously got yourself an insane rig with like multi-GPUs or whatever, because there's no single GPU, as far as I'm aware, that could run really any high-end game at 4K 60. So I'm assuming they've got a single GPU on this because it is a Windows game. So to be fair, that's a good point actually, because you can't use Crossfire or SLI in Windows 10 gaming thingy. So that'll be interesting to find out if they actually support that. But it actually runs quite well, I assume, from what hardware they have. I'm guessing they don't have anything like, I'm assuming that like they are using 970s or 980s, so it runs pretty well to be running at 4K, pretty stable 99% of the time on this. Anyway, back to the actual seat. So would I buy one of these? No. Did you know the reason? Well, they're very damn expensive. I actually used this on Forza Motorsport 6 before, and this is a different one, I believe. This one costs a lot more. This one, I think the whole setup is looking at around $35 to maybe $40,000. So that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a chair. If you've got the money and you're very rich, then maybe you can do it. But at the same time, I would love to buy one of these. I'd love to own one of these. It makes it a lot more. You feel a lot more, obviously, because that's what it's made to do. It's made to make you feel a lot more. But if I was going to use one of these, one thing I would really request is that all the games I use it on support VR as well, because obviously you need to have a full immersion. If your seat is moving with VR, people that have tried VR will know exactly what I mean. Imagine how it would feel if everything actually feels it does, using the wheel, that sort of thing. It would feel incredible. But seriously, I had a lot of fun on this. It definitely does improve the gameplay in general. It felt as if, like, obviously, especially when I went off-road, everything off-road was a million times, like, more rumbly and stuff, because obviously you're off-road. If you play The Crew, basically, with a wheel, and then you go on-road, and then you go off-road, you will basically, like, the wheel goes insane off-road, especially on, like, the high settings of force feedback, which is absolutely suicidal. Never do that in your life. But if you actually did that, it's probably equivalent to how the chair like reacts on the off-road sections on this game. As I said, I would love one of these, but the pricing is too ridiculous. It's too much for me. I could never like justify paying anything like this, especially when you could get like a really decent car for around 30-40k. Like, I don't know how that translates to pounds, but it's probably like 20, 25, 30,000 pounds. This is where I had the most fun, in this buggy right here. This buggy, like, again, one thing I like to explain with, when you use a wheel, once you've actually got like used to it and you've played the game with the controller, then you use a wheel, everything feels much more natural. And I said that explaining it in my VR video as well with Project Cars. I tried the Vive with the wheel, everything felt more natural. And again, this chair makes everything feel more natural. You get used to how the chair moves, you get used to how the car handles much quicker, and you can kind of like throw it around a lot more and be more in control. There's a learning curve on the wheel, but once you get past that, like, you can literally like you guess where the car is going to go a lot easier, if that makes sense. With the controller, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you'll do it perfect, sometimes you won't. But with this, like, again, it adds to the experience in where you will know how the chair reacts, and how the chair reacts, you know, how it would react in the game. So say you turned, you know how the chair would move, and you know that would happen. So it, like, you avoid, your brain kind of like tries to avoid those things happening, I guess, because obviously it's an inconvenience to be thrown around in a chair. So your brain auto like says, don't do this, otherwise this will happen. This is how far I can push this car before it does that. It's like, it's hard to explain, but hopefully I explained it well there. I think that's one thing that chair does. I might just be talking a load of bollocks, but in my opinion, I think that's what the chair does or adds to anyway, because again, with the wheel, that does that, and that's why you get better on racing games with a wheel as you kind of get, as you use the wheel and get used to that car, that kind of thing. And again, the same with VR. Like, that's my one objective, right? If I ever see a dbox with a wheel, a really crazy wheel setup, and obviously VR, that will basically be the ultimate experience, and I'll make a video on that damn straight away. Like, any convention place who want to set that up, just please do. Hey, I'll make you 50 videos. All right? Anyone will hook me up? Hook me up. Do you wanna send me this stuff? Yeah, let's go. No, I'd never be able to afford anything like that. Like, they've got the most ridiculous wheel as well. Thanks to Nick for recording this. He recorded this all for me, and thanks to the Forza devs for, well, helping me get all this set up and, well, allowing me to record it, that sort of thing. I really am enjoying E3. It's definitely like I never expected to be able to go to E3, and here I am here at E3 in a bloody stupid chair that moves around, throws me around with it. It's really awesome. So again, thank you to Xbox, thank you to Turn 10, thank you to Playground Games for, well, making this game, and Xbox for sending me out to E3 and LA and covering everything. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. So again, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think of this chair down in the comments. I think it's absolutely crazy, and I'd love to own one, but it's a little bit too much. Anyway, so again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and peace.